Welcome to Vital Step to Wellness, the podcast where we talk about everyday solutions to everyday problems. I am Marcia Torres, and together with my co-host Heidi Honrado, we are excited to introduce you to a very special guest. And today we have the honor to have Gaitrie. Heidi, can you please introduce Gaitrie?
Welcome, Gaitrie, to our podcast. Today we have Gaitrie Subryan, a choreographer, performer, and educator, blending tradition and innovation in the performing arts. Born in Guyana and raised in the Bronx, her Indo-Caribbean heritage shapes her work as a founder and artistic director of Devi Performing Arts. For over 14 years, she has created dynamic production exploring identity and resilience, including Find Your Beat, which premiered at Shea 7110 Theater right here in Buffalo, New York. Training kata and other dance forms, Gaitrie integrates yoga and mindfulness into her teaching. A Spark and Ignite Award recipient, she has received grants from the NYSCA and Danceforce. Beyond the stage, she uses art for social impact, mentoring young artists, and collaborating with institutions like Young Audiences of Western New York and Shea's Performing Arts Center. Through Devi Performing Arts, she fosters storytelling, empowerment, and cultural connections. Welcome, Gaitrie.
Thank you so much for having me, Heidi and Marcia. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And just for our audience, we're going to have a bigger biography on the description for Gaitrie, so you are very welcome just to read more about her. And we're going to start with our first question. And our question is going to be based on your cultural storytelling and personal growth. So you work beautifully and merges tradition with modern movement. How can embracing one's cultural heritage through dance supports personal development and well-being?
Thank you so much for that question. I'm really excited to be here, first of all. I love talking about my journey and where I come from and what I'm looking to do here in our community. So going back to your question, embracing my cultural heritage through dance is a profound way for me to foster this sense of self-identity and personal empowerment. Indian classical dance and the style that I train is Kathak from North India, as well as folk dance, are deeply rooted in oral tradition, as well as mythology and community storytelling. When we dance, right, we're not just moving. We are embodying generations and generations of history, wisdom, and resilience. For me, honoring these traditions while allowing for personal expression through my choreographic works, through my classes, through festivals and gigs around the area helps me reclaim my own narrative from my ancestors. You know, it helps me strengthen my confidence as well and develop this sense of belonging. And I'm hoping that that also transfers to other individuals as well. And for me, this is especially important in wellness, as so much of healing that we do is about coming home to yourself and really embracing all aspects of your identity and who you are and where you come from.
That is so powerful. Thank you so much.
So that's a beautiful way to connect. Like you said, it's not only about moving, right? It's not only about like, oh, and let's go to dance, but it's about just telling something within the movement. And something that you mentioned that it really caught my attention was that you said that it embraces your heritage. So obviously you are doing a specific dance that is from India, but you also are evoking different cultures here, right, with the movement, because that can be connected with any, like my heritage. If I go to your studio and if I dance, I can get connected with my own, even though I am listening to a different music. I think that's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it, yes.
That is the beauty of it, absolutely. My production, Find Your Beat, that was really one way for me to bring all the cultures together and also share a lot of the history that we don't know about the Caribbean, right? The Caribbean is so diverse. It's a huge melting pot of different cultures and ethnicities. Guyana itself has been called the land of six nations, and nobody questioned why. I know I didn't as a child. And so through my research and through learning about pretty much the travel from India to the Caribbean as indentured servants, I realized why there were Chinese, there were Africans, why Portuguese were there, why British were there, why Dutch were there in that area. There's a huge history there. And for me to be able to embody that and show that through movement as my form of storytelling, I thought that that was the best way that I could do it for my ancestors.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Guyana is a country that a lot of people don't know that have so much diversity. I watched a documentary and I was just amazed of how much is there that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And it's starting with that it is in South America, because a lot of people don't know.
Yes.
So it's truly it's truly the melting pot of everything. It holds all of our cultures, and it's beautiful. And for you to bring that out, and to help change lives and people to connect, as Marcia said, I can come to your studio and be able to connect and feel that, that connection with myself, right, with your own self, and still be with others. But in terms of the staying in the realm, the conversation of connection, I do have a question for you. So connecting the mind and the body, right? So in order to connect, it's not just our environment, but also ourselves. So dance is more than just a movement, as you said in the beginning. So it's a powerful tool for self-expression and healing. So how do you see Bollywood and Kathak dance influencing the mental and the physical well-being of ourselves?
That's a really good question. Thank you for that. So I've learned through many practices, not just dance, but also through yoga and wellness, but also Ayurveda. I'm someone who is a high Pitta dosha body type, and I've learned that movement practices must be intentional. And Ayurveda has taught me to balance my energy, my dosha, with more cooling and grounding techniques. So what I've noticed, the way how I'm starting to move through Kathak and Bollywood, is breath work, slow, flowing movements to bring my harmony, right, to my system. Dance, especially when approached with mindfulness, can be a healing practice that allows us, and especially myself, to release built up energy and reconnect with our inner rhythm. I've done dance for a very long time, and I have tried to move like everyone else. My body is not like everyone else's body. Our bodies are different, each and every single person. So the more that we embrace the natural rhythms of our body, the more freely we can actually move, right? And so in these dance forms, Bollywood, Kathak, folk, we engage with the earth through dancing barefoot, through footwork, graceful hand movements, and as well as the storytelling. And all of that requires focus, presence, and emotional release. So that whole mind-body connection is all there through dance, all of it. And I'm slowly still learning about all of these things. When I first started, I was in a very different space, right? I was young. I was young, and I thought that I don't really know what I thought, but I didn't think this way before. I will say that. And for me, it's not just about putting on a big show with like beautiful costumes. There's so much work that goes into that. And the stories that I want to share, the stories that I want to embody really come from my ancestors. And the reason why is because I have 3 young kids. And it's important for me to be able to share a story with them later on about where they come from, right? And being able to tap into that. Because I keep saying this, our stories are getting ripped away from us. They're being taken away. And if
Yeah.
we don't try to continue to share it, if we don't try to continue to reach out to the community and have those ways to express ourselves, then we're going to get lost in it. We're not going to be able to share our
Yes.
stories anymore. And
Yes.
what does that mean for the future? What does that mean for my children? I have to be able to find ways to kind of like create time capsules right now for them, right? These emotional time capsules also for them to realize where they came from, because it's going to be taken out of our books. They're not going to teach them, you know? So I think that it's really important to move in this way.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. And you're absolutely right. I mean, you know, just having that connection and that cultural, maintaining that cultural piece. But I one thing that you said that kind of stood with me is that you have to be present for this process, right? This dancing process and this movement. And I know one thing that Marcia always talks visualization, right? How important that is and being present. And when we think of movement and for our healing and our health, we think of we have to do these extreme things. But no, it's just that you're saying it's just as simple as let's just move and connect and be with ourselves, right?
100%.
Our unique selves. And that is so powerful. Just when you think of my body just has to move because it hurts, or I want to heal, I want to do something, but it's fun, that is just I'm okay with in a safe space, that it's me, and in a safe space such as, you know, your center, your studio. And that's so powerful. And I just wanted to highlight that it doesn't have to be this, you know, if it's the gym, if it's too much for someone to just go to the gym, or but just let's just focus on you, on the inside of you, and just have that moment with yourself, right? And even take it further as connecting with your culture, right? But just being okay with who you are and connecting with yourself and understanding that you want to heal and you want to be healthier. And even if it's with your mental health, if that moment makes you happy and it brings you to where you need to be and it centers you, it's everything.
Absolutely. I love the idea of going to the gym, of going to spaces where there's other people. But I think that balance, and I talk about my dosha because it is all about balance, right? Doshas is all about finding whether you're Vata, Kapha, Pitta. You have to find the balance. It's not about eliminating everything in my body that requires heat, that activates heat. It's about finding that cooling balance to bring me to that level, right? And so for those who really enjoy going to the gym and doing all those things, being in big spaces, still find the balance in that. Find that space where you can still be connected to yourself, because we can't always be firing, right?
Yes.
We can't
Yes,
always be firing.
absolutely.
We have to find that balance in our lives. So if you are able to set aside 20 minutes to just be with yourself, take that moment to be present with yourself, that can really do wonders for your well-being. I usually start the day at 5. I'll do a grounding meditation. Then I will move into a slow yoga practice, because my particular body type, I cannot do like the extreme vinyasas, for example, which activates more heat into my body. So I do like a nice, slow, steady practice. And then I actually top it all off with a self-massage with castor oil. And then I go hop in the shower and I start moving along my day.
Wow.
But that works for me, right?
Yes.
That works for me. And then throughout the day, I'm going. I end my day roughly about 9:30. I can finally put my feet up and be like, I'm done for the day. That may not work for some people. Some people may have a later start to the day, or maybe their day starts earlier. But just find the time that works for you and start crafting that into your schedule. Slowly and steadily. It doesn't need to be an hour and a half. It can really just be 20 minutes, right?
Yes.
Because once you feel more connected with yourself, being in other spaces with other people, it's going to feel a lot better.
That is so true. Thank you for those powerful words. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So Gaitrie, just going back a little bit to the question that we had originally, that I wanted to ask you here. You share and you said, you know, when I was young, I didn't see this career that you are right now, how you see it now. So we're talking about here personal growth that came within and now has been evolving and continues to evolve in what you do. Can you tell our audience how was that journey? Because I think a lot of people nowadays, we believe that everything has to be instant, right? But there is no such thing. There's a lot of intentionality in our growth. So can you share how was that intentionality in your growth and how you can help by telling your story to others?
Absolutely. So first of all, I'm going to start this off with it's hard. It is so hard. You know, sometimes people only see what's on social media, or they see the final performance on stage, or you know, if you're a visual artist, they're seeing your exhibition, right? They don't see the things that happen and the struggles that go along with it. And you know, I'm not asking for anyone to feel sorry or anything, but I will say it has been a very rough road. When I first started, when I got to Buffalo, it was easier. I didn't have kids. I wasn't married yet. You know, we were planning those things, but it definitely got tough when I had my kids and I had to learn balance. Again, we're going back to balance. It's just the key thing, right? It's the whole yin and yang. But balance is key. And for me, it has been about, you know, being able to find that balance in the chaos, whether, you know, I am having to put together like many works or teaching many classes or, you know, handling the administrative stuff, handling all the logistics, communicating with everyone when I have to do the shows and the productions and then top it off with the social media. It's all about finding that balance. And so, you know, one thing for me is like, I needed to find the right group of people to help support me, to make sure that I surrounded myself with like-minded individuals who told me when I was being too crazy about an idea, who told me that all my dreams will come true, who said that they would help me along the way. Having those people have been key. I found my dance teacher 5 years ago, and she has become such an influential part in my life. Like, she is someone that I turn to if I need something, and she's based in India. And so, you know, when I get the chance to like be with her in space, we not only dance, she doesn't just train me, she prepares me emotionally and mentally for things. You know, I have a core group of friends that I keep beside me when I need that girl break, like I need that hang time with just the girls. But they're still artists and they're still creatives and they know the struggle. So I don't need much explanation. Sometimes I don't need to explain myself at all. They just get it. And I don't have to seek that validation or like, you know, feel like I have to do something in order to prove myself. Like, they get it. So be like, those have been some of the things that I have dealt with over the years, more recent than before, because before it was a little easier. Before it wasn't as busy. Before there was no kids. So, you know, everything. Exactly. So it makes, you know, having that core group has been really helpful for me.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that, because that's all it is, right? You can't do it alone, but you do need a community that believes in you and that supports you. And I think that is a key for anyone that is starting something new. Like, you really have to, and it's going to be a trial and error, right? It's not the first person that you find is not going to be the right person. Maybe you have to go through a bunch of people before you find the really community. So thank you for sharing.
Tribe.
Yes.
Oh, you're welcome. You know, I say that you can't live on an island by yourself. You know, sometimes it feels like it. It does, because as a performer, everybody thinks that you're always around people, but we're not. A lot of it is in being in the studio by yourself, working through things. That can get very lonely. But when you step outside of that space, you know, make sure that you have people to hold you up along the way.
That's so true. And we have one more question for you, right? And the question is, I haven't been there, but I have seen pictures, I have seen videos, and it is a beautiful space. It is a beautiful space that I think people should definitely go and see it. And we would like for you to give us your last words, tell us a little bit about your studio or something that you want to share with your audience, and where they can find you, what you offer. It will be exciting to hear from you.
Absolutely. So I offer classes. I offer weekly classes. Um, and it's based in Buffalo, New York, right along Sheridan and Elmwood. I love the space. It's an old school, and they have transformed it to allow us all to have homes there to have our businesses. There's my studio, there is a bakery, there's a gymnastics studio, there's a gym. There is so many things in this space. So it's right in like Tonawanda area, Buffalo. And you know, one thing about my studio, I love being able to like connect with people. And just through consistent classes, you know, there's a space where people feel safe to come to. You know, we encourage each other, we support one another. You know, the energy in this space is contagious. This week has actually been a pretty rough week, but you come into this space and you just tune in for a moment and you're around these other individuals. And I have seen transformations happen in less than an hour with someone. And I think that that is powerful in itself. People blossom, they grow, they share. You know, they share things that they don't share with coworkers, that they don't share with family members, because we have this space together and we're moving differently. We are physically moving differently than how we do with other people. Right? So different avenues, different channels, different meridians in your body start to open up. And so when that happens, you start blossoming, you start growing, you know, you start connecting, building community, real, honest community. And I think for me, it's not just about the technique. It's about self-discovery. It's about empowerment, building those connections. To me, movement has the power to heal, uplift, and unite. And I feel completely honored that I'm able to share this with my community.
Wow. That is beautiful and so powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yeah, you really touched me when you said that you know you have seen transformations within 1 hour. That's really beautiful, powerful, and empowering. And what is the address of your studio?
Oh, it's 3200 Elmwood Avenue, Buffalo, New York, 14217. And my website is www.davybollywoodDance.com.
And where they can find you on social media so they can find you there and they can follow you.
Oh, I'm on all the things, aren't I? I'm on Facebook, Devi Bollywood, Devi Performing Arts, and on Instagram, Devi Performing Arts as well, and just recently added to the TikTok world. Oh, I was just going to say, on the website has all the information for classes, upcoming performances, workshops. We do actually a monthly yoga workshop called Beyond the Mat. So it's not just an asana based practice. It's actually about philosophy. It's about reclaiming one's wild self, like tuning in to the practices that are off of the mat, very mindfulness practices. This coming month, we actually have a slow movement flow with shamanic drumming. So we're having that. The first one that we did was altar building and journaling for the new year. And then recently we had a yin practice with a story from the Mahabharata. So, you know, yoga philosophy from Indian culture and tradition, and the roots of where yoga really comes from. So really trying to push past what yoga is seen here in the Western world to what it truly does embody in Eastern cultures.
Awesome. Wow, that's so wonderful. And it's a date. We'll be there.
Yes, absolutely. We will be there. The weather gets warmer, you will see us there.
And we're almost there. We're almost there.
Almost. We're feeling it. We're feeling it.
And we are. I was cleaning out my garage today, so I'm excited. I'm excited for the warmer weather.
Yes. So for everybody, we're going to put all the descriptions where you can find Gaitrie. Everything is going to be in the description. So please, if you have questions, or if you didn't pick up what she was telling, her address, the website, everything is going to be there. So we really want to say thank you so much for being here with us today. I learned so much from you. I know I see you every other Wednesday, but
Yes.
today I really learned so much more about you and the beautiful things that you do for the community and how much you actually give for individually to everyone that works there. So thank you. Thank you so much for
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is such a pleasure. And it was so great meeting you, Heidi, and just sharing a little bit about what I do and just what I want to continue to do. What I want to continue
Yes,
to
thank
do.
you. Thank you for sharing your heart with us and your passion.
Hopefully when like we said, when the weather gets warmer, we can go over there to your studio, maybe take some pictures and do a follow-up.
Yes.
We love to do that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Space is
so
always
much.
welcome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So everyone, thank you so much for being with us today. We have the pleasure to be with Gaitrie and Heidi, and we love to see you on the next time. So thank you.
Bye-bye.